Hi everyone. Today we'll see the problem count sub-islands. We'll see the problem statement first and then see the intuition and then let's code. Okay. We are given two M cross N binary matrices named as grid 1 and grid 2 containing only zeros which zeros means water and ones representing land. An island is a group of ones connected four directionally, horizontal or vertically. Any cells outside of the grid are considered water cells. An island in grid 2 is considered a sub-island if there is an island in grid 1 that contains all the cells that make up this island in grid 2. We need to return the number of islands in grid 2 that are considered sub-islands. Okay, we'll see the intuition first and then let's go. We are given with two grids named as grid 1 and grid 2. Okay, grid 1, as per the question, grid 1 is 1 1 1 0 0 0 1 1 1. And grid 2 is 1 1 1 0 0 0 1 1 1 1. Okay, these are the two grids given in the question. Now what we need to find? We need to find sub-islands in grid 2. What are sub-islands? If you see, an island is something which is surrounded by water. Okay, if I mark them, this is an island. They should be connected only by a horizontal or vertical ordering. They should not be connected diagonally. That means this this particular one this particular one is not a part of the pink color island. Okay, I'll mark it for you. This is island 1. This is island 2. And this is also part of island if it's a 1 because it's connecting vertically. But as per question, it's a 0 over here. It is 0. So that's why the island is restricted till here. Okay. Now what we need to do is we'll find all the islands in grid 2. This is one island. This is one other island. This is one other island. Okay. These are all the islands which I have found. In this islands, what are all the islands are part of grid 1 and they are also part of any island. That means if you find the island 1, there should be land in grid 1. I mean the coordinates of grid 2 which are in island should be a land in grid 1. You're getting it right. If you see, this is a land here and this should be land over here. And also if you see here, this is a land here, this should be land. This is land here, this is also land. This is land here. This is also a land. This is land. This is. That's what we found a one sub island. This is island one is a sub island because all the coordinates of grid 2 island 1 are are also part of grid 1. You're getting it right. The island 1 which is there in grid 2 is also present in grid 1. Okay, if we see here grid island 2, this one, it's not an island in grid 1, so that's not a sub island. Okay, now if we check for this is an island in grid 2 and this is also a part of island in grid 1, so this is a sub island. If you see this is island. Is this any part of an island? Yes, this is a part of island. One means it's a land, it will definitely be a part of island. So we found a sub island. So how many sub islands we found? If you consider this particular thing, if you see, there are only these two when we compare with this. I mean, this particular one has no corresponding land. This particular one has no particular corresponding land. I mean, these two. Okay. Hence, this is not a sub island. Not a sub island. Okay. In this way, we need to find number of sub islands in grid 2. So for this particular question, it's 3. This is 1. This is 1. This is 2. And this is 3. Okay. That's how we need to find the sub islands. What could be the intuition? Okay. What will be the intuition? First, we'll find all the islands in grid 2 using DFS, depth first search. Okay, and after that we'll iterate over the islands. Okay, we after getting the islands we'll iterate over the islands, check if this particular land has also corresponding land in grid 1. Okay, this particular coordinate which is a part of island in grid 2 should also have a land in grid 1. If so, we'll try to iterate over all the coordinates of grid 2 islands and then check if it has any corresponding land in this. If not, we'll just not include that particular island. You're getting it right? That's how we'll try to find the solution for this particular problem. Okay, now let's go. If you see, we'll go through all the coordinates in grid 2. What we need to do is we need to get an island. If that particular, if grid 2 of I and j double equals to 1, then get island. I need to start from this. Okay, let's store the island coordinates in some temporary variable list and send this list as part of the island. After getting this temporary variable filled, we will we'll have a variable where all the islands can be stored. Self dot islands append self dot temp. Okay, we'll iterate through the grid 2 matrix and then find all the islands and then save all the coordinates into this particular islands. We will then implement the function get island. Okay, def get island. What we need to take x, y, and a temporary variable to add the coordinates. Temp dot append x comma y, because we need to add this particular coordinate as well into the island coordinates, right? Okay, and then what we need to do is we will try to change the color of this particular thing, so it'll be easy to not revisit again. If the color is changed, we won't visit again. I mean, here changing 1 to 2 will make the work for us. Grid 2 of I mean x, y equals to 2. We'll change it to 2. What we are doing is if we land on that particular coordinate and we are trying to add that particular coordinate and trying to change the color of that particular coordinate so that we don't need to revisit that particular coordinate. Okay, now what I will do is I'll get the corres uh, neighboring children. If you take this particular node 0, what are all the children for this? Top children, right children, left children, and the bottom children. Okay, it would form a plus over here. So I'm trying to get all the children. I'll have a function for this children. What it will take? It will take the coordinates and row max. What could be the row max and what could be the col max? I'll just send the maximum value of row and col. Row max will be length of grid 2 and column max will be length of grid 2 of 0. So we should ensure that we are not exceeding this particular we are not going out of this column and we are not exceeding this particular row. We are not going out of this row. Okay, that's what I'll just send. So we should not exceed 3 4 5. We should not exceed 5 and we should not exceed 5 in this particular, I mean, like there are 5 rows and 5 columns, so we should not exceed 5 rows and we should not exceed 5 columns. That's what actually it means. Okay, well, children takes an x, y, and row max and call max and returns a children. We'll implement this. And now what I need to do is for every children, okay, x, I will in children if grid 2 of I and j double equals to 1, then again do get island of I comma j comma temp. What this actually means, if you see, if you take this particular one, I need to traverse over all the children. Okay, traversing only in that direction where the children's value is 1. This particular condition stands for that. I am checking whether the children is 1 or 0. If it's 1, go in that direction and change this particular color. Okay, this function gets called again. For this particular thing, it again checks the children. For this particular thing, yeah, it again checks the children. So it has 0, right? It won't go into this direction. It goes down. Okay, it checks in the left direction as well, but then it will change the color to 2. I'll just show you the implementation of getting children. I'll have a list variable children which is empty at first. I'll check if x plus 1 less than row max, only then append children x plus 1 comma y. Check if x minus 1 is greater than or equals to 0. Ensure that it should not go less than 0 as well. Okay, children dot append x minus 1 comma y, and we'll check the same case for columns as well. Sorry, x comma y plus 1. Check if y minus 1 is greater than or equals to 0, only then append it to the children. Okay, we have got all the childrens corresponding to this particular x and y. For going to the top children, this works. Going to the bottom children, this will work. For going to the right children, this will work. For going to the left children, this will work. Okay, this if condition is for those. We are trying to append to the children variable and we'll send that children. Okay, we have tried to implement the get island function and appended all the islands into self.islands, and we are getting children for implementing this particular function. And now we need to check the coordinates of the islands are one in island 1 or not. For that, what I'll do is for island in islands, for x comma y in island, have a variable check which is true at first. We we assume that this island is a sub island, so we just check whether it's a sub island or not. We just check if grid 1 of x and y not equals to 1. We change the check to false and break from the for loop in nested for loop and check. If the check, then we'll have a result variable initialized self.res equals to 0, and we'll return the self.res. What I am doing is for each and every island in islands, go through the coordinates. X and y are the coordinates. So how many ever coordinates are there, go through those and check there is a corresponding one in grid 1. If it's not there, directly make it false and then do nothing. If all of them I need to include an if here. If all of them are ones, if all the coordinates of island in grid 2 are ones, then I do nothing. These if blocks get this if the condition will never pass in this if block, and the check will be always true, and it comes out of this for loop and the check will be true and it gets added to the result. That's what will be sending. I'll just run this. Islands is not defined. Oh, I have put self dot island. My bad. See, they passed. If I print the grid 2, you will find islands in color 2. I mean, all the ones will become 2. If you see grid 2, everyone is 2 now. The, every time you visit this particular land, you just change that island so that we'll keep track whether we have uh, visited that particular uh, coordinate or not. Okay, we'll now submit this. You see, it passed. If we analyze the time complexity, it's O of R into C, rows and columns. We are trying to iterate over all the rows and columns. That's what the time complexity of n square. If you have any question, please comment them in the comment box. Please like, share, and subscribe.